Western Conference Podcast brought to you by Dos Caras Tequila. Here with special guests, we got my boy Josh Tatofi in the building and my brother Laupepa. How are we doing, my brothers?
What's up, man? What's up?
Good,
It's about time we had you in here, Josh.
You know, we're here. We're here. We finally made it. We're here.
As you can see, we had celebrated Josh's birthday, and you know we're feeling real good today. So with that said,
Amazing.
How you guys doing? What brings you to town?
We are here for the CNHA first annual
Nice.
of Hawaiian Affairs. So we're performing tomorrow night, and just enjoying the festivities.
And that's going down at the West Gate.
Down at the Westgate. Did you know that?
Fun fact.
Did you know that Elvis?
Fun fact, for those who didn't know, Westgate, it used to be the place where Elvis played. Mm-hmm. Cool. Mm-hmm. And now you're there. So
That's all you have to know.
that's all you got to know about Westgate.
It's amazing.
But you know what? Why I brought you guys here, and you guys already seen the podcast before, is basically kind of just go down the whole line that got you in this music business. Like we're talking about Grammy-nominated artists. We're gonna get into all that too. But you know, let's go right from the beginning. How did you even get the love of music started in your life?
You know, like a lot of singers, church, definitely the foundation of it. So I sang in church all throughout my childhood, and my dad also played music for the group Kapena, of course.
Come on, legend right there.
So, I just wanted to be like Dad, and I didn't know what that entailed.
Yeah.
And now we're here, basically, in a super short version.
But you can't just kind of oversee, like growing up with Pops being in such a legendary band like Kapena.
Yeah.
How was that kind of like, you already was saying, okay, Pops is a rock star already.
Yeah.
So how could that kind of resonate to you to say that's something that I wanted to do in my life?
Yeah. Again, going back to I just wanted to be like Dad.
Yeah.
And at the time, I thought everyone's parents was playing music, so I didn't.
Not everyone.
Right? I didn't think it was a special thing. I thought everyone. There was police officers for dads, firefighters, and my dad was a musician, and I just thought it was another job that a father would have.
Yeah.
Only as I got older, I seen how cool he was and how special he was as a musician, and and even more, I just want to be like him.
Yeah.
So,
and I kind of do that now, like with my kids. They see me doing shows and stuff like that. They're like, Dad, you don't have a real job? I'm like, no, that's my job.
No, yeah. I have fun.
What about you, Laupepa? How did you start with this music game?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same with Josh. We started off at church, and when I moved from Samoa to LA, I think I was about 11 years old. So
11.
11, yeah. 11,
And
12.
already into the music game?
Yeah, my pops.
Yeah.
He was already playing music, and started off in the church and made our way to where we are now.
And when you guys were young, was like the music that your fathers were doing, was that the music you were listening to as kids, or you guys were on your own kind of like frame of music that you guys were doing or listening to at that time?
That's funny that you ask, because I was listening to like Boyz II Men, Luther Vandross, and like any Polynesian dad, he thought I had issues.
Yeah.
For sure. He'd ask me he's like, well, why are you listening to these slow songs? Like, why, are you okay? Like, are you emotional? I'm just like, nah, Dad, I just love these songs.
So you talking about you was listening to like the Baby Faces, the Luthers, and stuff like that too.
Baby making.
Yeah, the baby making music, the Love Jones music.
Yeah, right.
Same thing with you, Peps?
Yeah.
Yeah. But how did you guys transition into kind of saying, okay, Pops does, reggae and stuff like that too. When did you guys start to have the love for island reggae music? Or just like, what that genre was in general?
Well, being that Dad was playing for Kapena, that's where I got the island reggae music feel from. But I've always just kind of veered into love song, ballad, just throughout my life. The up-tempo island reggae stuff is actually where my comfort. I'm not really comfort. That's not really my comfort zone there. Although it's what we born and raised listening to our whole lives, my comfort zone has always been, again, the ballad and the slow jams. But being that we're in, born and raised in Hawaii, it was almost like, man, it's kind of weird that I like this, but this is what's happening here in the islands. Yeah. And it was always weird, even right now. It's always a weird thing. But what I've learned just through time was to just stick to my guns. And
I mean, you've definitely embraced it, because I mean, if you guys don't know, this is the Tongan Luther Vandross, if you guys don't know already, because you've opened up for Babyface and stuff like that too as well, right?
Yeah, we came across some pretty cool artists, man. Babyface, of course, one of the greatest. To 98 Degrees.
Yeah. Shout out 98 Degrees though.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Yeah.
UB40.
UB40. it's kind of crazy.
Catch fire.
Yeah, the boys, of course, the homies and the friends and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, it's been a journey, man. You know, through this whole music thing. Again, I've just learned to just sing what I want to.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably the best way to go about. Because nowadays, in the time of media and marketing, you know, we're always first to thinking of media and marketing before looking at the underlying thing you want to do first. You know, you want to be popular and all this kind of stuff, but maybe you should figure out what you want to do first.
But I also remember, like, we talk about social media age that we're living in now.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when you had a moniker, Uncle. When you had, like, you know, before people were doing these skits and videos. I remember you. That's how I first got onto you, was the funny videos.
Uncle Joe, yeah.
Yeah, Uncle Joe. And I was like, I didn't know you were an artist. I thought you were just a comedian. Because if you guys watch some of the Uncle Joe videos, like back in the day, it was like you were like that character for social media, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, he can sing too. You were an artist. So how did that Uncle Joe thing kind of come about?
You know, the way I've always treated social media was I just used it as a platform that could bring some love and laughter too. I didn't know in what form. Sometimes it'd be like in a funny way, or of course nowadays with the music, or I might just put up something that I'm like cooking or something. I don't know. I just always treated it as like a little entertainment channel, I guess.
Because the content you had, I mean, I always say with social media, if you put something funny and you put something after it, there's kind of like a method to the madness, right?
Yeah.
Because you kind of like, you kind of luring them in with the comedy, and then you're like, by the way, I also do music, and that was kind of like a genius way of marketing that.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I wasn't thinking that far.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't thinking about algorithm. I wasn't thinking about, you know, what dynamic I was trying to bring or type of followers. I was just kind of press record. I thought this was kind of cool.
Are you more aware of it now that you see what these algorithms can do for your career?
Yeah, now it's a whole different thing. Now it's like our career.
It's almost like a business now, right?
It's a very much a whole business now. So. And
Peps, tell us how you and Josh even came to be, because you obviously play together and tour together, but how did this whole relationship come about? The snarl and the laugh said it all right there.
No. So I was playing football at UH at the time, and Josh's sister Betty is my classmate.
Oh, nice.
So I met Betty when freshman class, and she was my RA, and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" When we were jamming music, she was like, "Yo, my brother's a singer too." I was like, "Yo, it's cool." So she always, talked about her brother and stuff. So one time we were at the dorms, and he was there. We were mixing. It was me and my boy Lafu. And then Josh was about 16 at the time.
Young kid.
Young
whippersnapper.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh tea, y'all.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, my man started singing. I looked at Lafu. I was like,
yeah. For real.
I was like, yo, this boy is bad.
Yeah.
But then he was a football player too. So because he was the same size as us, it was like everyone thought he was on the football team.
Yeah. But he's 16.
He was a sophomore.
Yeah.
In high school. So everyone was like, oh yeah, he's part of the football team,
Yeah. See, but don't even skip over that. You just said, oh, I used to play at UH. When you were playing football, was music still part of your, upbringing?
It definitely was big time. And in actuality, I think that it kind of helped me make a decision to go to UH, because not only football, but it was just the camaraderie between teammates and my poly folk, And they were playing music, and for me, I was like, I want to come here.
Yeah. Because you were a bad guitar player, by the way. If you guys don't know, Peps get down on that guitar. Like, how did you? Of course, Pops taught you.
Yep.
But how did you kind of just say, okay, this is something I can make a living from? When was the moment for you? You're at UH playing football, but how was you saying, okay, I'm pretty good on this guitar where I can make a living doing this?
When I got fired from Dallas Cowboys.
That's a good indication.
You're like, well, so much for that.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
No, so I started playing music with my pops when I got released, and I was playing music, and from there, I never played with a pick.
Yeah.
So and then he was just like, it's a 4-hour gig. I was like, I'll be fine.
4-hour gig with no pick.
No pick. First hour, I was like, hey, you got an extra pick? So since then, I learned it. But then I've always been in contact with Josh throughout the years. And it's crazy that we haven't ran into each other throughout the years until 2016.
Yeah. So that's when it started for you guys, 2016.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you? So when did you decide football wasn't the thing and music's going to be my thing?
I always thought music was going to be my thing.
Oh, forever. Nice. Okay. So you knew early on. You were like, football is just going to kind of get me to where to get me, but I'm going to do this music thing for sure.
Yeah. I always wanted to. I always wanted. My dad didn't want me to.
Didn't want you to be an artist, or didn't want you to play football?
They want me to play music.
Oh, wow.
Be in the industry.
Yeah.
At the time, I just thought, man, why? Like what? Like he's in it. Like,
Yeah.
And I never really understood. He just always made sure, hey, just go to school, get a good job, go to school, get a good job.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of, well, any saying for any parents coming from the islands. You know, that's just the real jobs, right? Whether it's in healthcare or in law, you know.
Like the real job. We always talk about like our parents always said, yeah.
The real jobs. But
yeah.
And I gave it, like, you know, I was pretty decent in school.
Yeah.
You know, went off to college, but like even throughout that whole time, I wanted to play music because I guess everything else felt like work.
Yeah.
Everything felt like, man, there's a lot of work to.
That's that thing they call passion right there.
Yeah. Everything consisted of things I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And music was just the easiest thing to do, I guess, for me. And I guess I felt like, man, if I could just do this my whole life, pay my phone bill, then I'm not working.
Just the phone bill.
I'm not working.
As long as you get that phone bill paid.
I mean, that was that's like the first indication, right?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you start paying any bills with any passion or retail product that you have, is you just need that little spark.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh man.
But I always tell people who watch this and kids watch it as well, you do have to have some type of job to kind of like fuel the passion. You know what I mean? Because there's everyday life, and there's a thing that we have to go. You know, there's bills that be paid, like your phone bill. Like when you were working, did you work odd jobs before you got serious about the music?
I worked straight up iate, which is good old, they'll say general contracting in the Faikava biz, but it's rock walls, man. You're doing rock walls and palm trees and coconut trees and stuff. So I was a laborer making, you know, like $125 a day. So of course you're right. That job definitely always, even till today. Yeah. You know, there'll be some times where we were in Japan. Yeah. And we had like a 3-hour delay because of the typhoon in Japan, and then we were back on the train, and then we landed and played a 2-hour set. And a lot of times right before I'm about to vent, I think about that shovel.
Oh, wow.
In the sunny day. There's a lot of times.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, bro.
And there's a lot of times I'll vent to him, and right after that, I'll be like, I don't even know why I'm venting.
Exactly. I don't know why I'm complaining about this because of the position you're in. I mean, but it does, like you said, it brings you back to the time where you wasn't like successful. You wasn't. No. You had to think about that shovel and, you know, the hard work that you had to put through to get to where you're at now.
Yeah. And it got to a point where even today, every sunny day, you know, when the sun hits the skin, I'm like, I always think like, man, I used to stand in this thing, man, like 8 hours a day,
laboring,
just shoveling, just shuffling, you know. So
working out,
you know. So my little vent before I go to this 2-hour gig, I'm like, oh, all smiles all of a sudden. Like,
so that kind of what gets you through, like, you know, you're going through the delays, you're going through, you know, traffic and stuff, and like where you could easily complain, but you kind of like center yourself and kind of brings you back to reality, like, you know, it's not as bad as it could be.
No, for sure. Yeah. And whenever I do those kind of vents or complaints, I call it like a luxury complaint. Yeah. You know, it's a luxury to complain about.
Ooh, say it again. About luxury complaints.
Yeah, you know. So, So I try not to say it out too much because I don't want to come off like it's, you know, like how we were just saying in the car. It's like, oh man, we just had 3 gigs on Friday, 4 on Saturday, now we're here, but then I spin it back. It's like, or we could not get hired.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
You know, or we could not, or no one wants to hire us,
and not be booked. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So even when those things come out, I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But, you know, it's
no,
just,
I'm kind of glad you said that, you know,
know,
because people watching this, you know, they do have to center themselves. And, you know, artists that are coming up in the game right now that are fans of you guys, you know, just kind of seeing what it takes to get there. Because a lot of these kids today, they think it's easy. And I think with social media, it makes it easier for them because, you know, they go through a lot of stuff that, you know, earlier artists in their careers did. Right. But you guys, I mean, what about you, Peps? Were you working a job before you had to fund the passion?
No, it was straight from football to music because my dad was playing music at Disneyland at the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's where I was playing with Mata, Via, and Tini, and some of the boys.
The Gray family.
Yeah, the Gray family.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
Legends.
Shout out to the Grays.
Legends. Yeah.
And CK Boys. And it's from there. That's where I started. And the passion for music didn't really integrate me until I moved back to Hawaii. Yeah. 2016, to be honest. Because I was good enough to play at these places, but never really honed in and perfected my craft to be like, hey, man.
Until you went back to
really
Hawaii.
Good at this and make money from it. So Dux hit me up, and he was just like, hey, man, what are you doing over there in LA? I was like, nothing. I'm just playing at Disneyland. He was like,
Well, the thing is, like you said, man, and like he'll never claim it, but he's one of the baddest guys on
Come
guitar.
on, man.
Oh.
He's one of the baddest dudes. And when I was making this project, and I would call him up, like, what are you doing? He's like, hey, man, honestly, I'm doing nothing, man.
Yeah.
And for me, that also lit another flame under what I was doing, because I was like, nah, man, this is like another brother of mine that I could use and he could use as well.
Yeah.
To kind of feel that passion. And I'd bother him for about a couple months.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, you gonna move over? You gonna move? The funniest thing is, I don't even think I ever told him, but I begged him for like a couple months, and I sold dreams and everything to him. I told him, bro, I got like tours and gigs.
He was gassing them up. He was gassing them up.
I had no tours. I had no tours and I had no gigs at the time, dog. But I did know
it was coming.
If he made it over, it'd be a force to be reckoned with. Because I'm a bass player. Yeah. So as long as I had a solid left, I could move. Anything I could sing, I could tell him. Yeah. If I wanted to change this, I could tell him.
And the relationship was already there, like as far as knowing.
The chemistry and everything was already made years prior. So, and then I think I kind of stopped calling or whatever. But he called me. He's like, "Hey, man, you got some work for me out there?" And again, I just lied, bro. I was like, "Yep, so much work."
Hey, did you already know he was bullshitting, Peps?
He was like, "Hey, welcome to Yate."
I'm like, "Yeah, we got so much work." Yeah. But now I'm in a place where like, okay, cool. Yeah. But I gotta get work. Like I gotta get these things. But now I can, because I'm not about to do a gig solo with a bass. Yeah. Now that I have a left, it's like, okay, cool. I can book all these gigs, and we'll be fine, because we'll duo. He sings. We both play instruments. It packs a punch. Yeah. Which is exactly what happened. As soon as he moved, he hit the ground running.
And what kind of like did it for you to kind of take you to that point to say, hey, Thokes, you got some work to like, was there a certain thing?
This was more like a trial and error thing for me too, though. Because in my head, I was like, oh, you're good enough to be here. But then Hawaii is a different animal. Yeah. That's a different animal of musicians there, because it's a different kind of sauce. Yeah. Coming from LA, you think everything's R&B, all this and that, all everything in one. Over here in Hawaii, it's more than that. Yeah. Everyone can do what you do, but more. Yeah.
And there's more of a pressure, right? There's more of a pressure.
And more so, anything you can do on electric, I can do on acoustic. Yeah. But that's my mentality now too. Right. Because I'm like, bro, I don't need to do what you do in electric. Yeah. I could do the same thing on acoustic.
Ooh, go on, talk your shit, Peps. Talk your shit.
Let's get it. At me.
But then now you move to Hawaii. Now the relationship is there. Now you kind of say, okay, what projects are you guys kind of have already in place to say, okay, songs here, we're going to try to do this and that. How did that all kind of just come together like that?
Nothing.
Really? So you lied to him.
We're starting off great.
I just, a couple months before that, I just released Puakiele.
Yeah, come on, man.
I just released that.
Classic.
Either I was just about to release it.
No, you released it a year before, like 2014.
Before. So I just released it, and I guess I was starting to see where my career was going. Yeah.
Don't just go that. The Grammy nominated project, by the way. You can talk your shit too, Josh. This is where this is the place to talk it, because that project was nominated for a Grammy. Tell us about that whole thing that came about. Yeah. How did you even get the news, and how was you like? Damn, I'm a Grammy nominated artist now.
So I didn't submit that. My manager Aaron Mikami submitted it.
Shout out Aaron.
Without telling me.
Oh shit.
And he called me 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess that's when they announced it. Yeah. From East Coast or whatever. And he said, "Congratulations, you're nominated for a Grammy." And so, we play around all the time. So I'm like, okay, wait, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, I put in your name for a Grammy some months ago. It went for the semifinals, and now you're at the finals. And that year, it was taking place in New York.
Yeah, I remember that.
So.
Was that the same year Boog was nominated too? So you and Boog was out there, and because you was nominated for Best Regional Roots Music Album.
Yes.
For that project as well. Yeah. So you guys were in New York. Like, tell us about that whole experience, because we've seen it on social media, but for you to be there and experience it, you got to tell us and the viewers how that felt, just being in that realm.
I lived until right now. I live like through my parents' eyes.
Man, come on.
So. First and foremost, first thing was to my folks. Yeah. And and before my dad does this still today. Before we get too excited, this is what he always tells me. Before we get too excited, let's pray real quick.
Yeah, man, come on.
So did the prayer, and I told him, my dad's like, son, like, bro, this is crazy, man. Like, I didn't get to go there.
Yeah.
Capena didn't go, Grammys and, stuff like that. This is a big one for the Polynesians. This is a big one for Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because the Hawaiian album, there's a big one for you, So, let's, congratulations.
Yeah. So Pops kind of changed his tune where he didn't want you to be an artist at first. But now that he kind of seen, okay, you're going to do what you want to do. Now to see you get nominated for a Grammy, that had to come full circle for him as well.
So funny is like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But after I got the good news, the next week, I was telling my dad, like, hey, Dad, let's go to the Grammys.
Yeah. Wow. That got to be a best feeling in the world, man.
Choked up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying not to get choked up right now.
I'm being choked up and listening to it, like, God damn.
And he looked at me, he's like, well, you gonna take me?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Man.
I'm going to take you.
Yeah.
We're going to do the red carpet. We're going to go meet cool people,
Yeah.
He's like, well, where's this at? I'm like, New York. And he's never been to New York.
Yeah.
So he's just like, what?
That's a moment right there. That's a moment.
And he's just kind of like, son, the flights, and I'll pay for the flights.
Yeah.
Like, but the hotel, I'll pay for the hotel. Like, we'll go. He's like, do you have that kind of money? It's like, nah, nah, not at all.
We're gonna make it do what it do.
Go.
Yeah.
We gotta go. So, everything I do, even till today, it's like I just live through my folks.
Yeah, man.
Because they invested in me.
Yeah.
And
when they didn't have, we talk about, this upbringing that you had. Some people don't have the luxury of having that. You know what I mean?
True.
And to be grateful to have that and the support system that you had, it shows in your success. And I think, you kind of just, that full circle moment that you just told us to tell your dad, hey, let's go to the Grammys. Like, come on, man, that's movie stuff right there. Like, to have that moment for you, that's something you're going to carry with you for the rest of your life.
Forever, man.
Yeah.
And even when anyone that knows my dad, even like the Gray family as well.
Yeah.
Like those OGs, dog.
Come on.
You can't beat them.
Yeah.
At living life. Like these guys, when they
don't
out,
live.
When they live life, like they live
to
life.
the fullest. To the fullest.
We went out there and he would be like, son, this is where the best pizza's around the corner. Dad, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go ride the subway. Like, all right, let's go ride the subway.
Yo, we did.
Let's go ride the subway. He's like, son, I see all the time on YouTube that people sing in the subway station.
Yeah.
My man brings out the ukulele.
Woo!
Wes Stop was with us.
Oh, yeah, shout out Wes. He did go. That's
Wes
right.
Stop
That's
was
right.
with us.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I remember looking at Wes, and Wes is smiling at my pops. Like,
Yeah.
And Wes is like, bro, your dad is like living right
Come
now.
on.
So he's playing his ukulele or whatever in the subway station in New York. And
wow.
he's like, so things like that for me is like, that's what the biggest happiness for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Priceless memories with Pops, man.
And so taking him on the red carpet and letting him do his little Facebook Live, show all his friends and stuff. And
well, don't just go over the red carpet. On the clip, you're going to see the suit that my man was wearing. Tell us about the outfit that day because you was killing him over there. Because you had to think about this, right? I'm going to the Grammys. What am I going? Because it's always a thing, what are people wearing to the Grammys? You're a nominated artist.
Right.
So a lot of thought process had to go into what you was wearing. You got to tell us about that.
Yeah, so I actually worked with a local designer out of Hawaii, Keenan Zamora.
That's dope.
And I still work with him today.
Yeah.
I kind of told him, like, hey, I'm going to the Grammys. I don't really know what I want.
Do your thing.
I know the colors and the design. And, what can we do? So he custom made that suit for me. And, the rest was history. That thing was...
Come on, man. We're showing the picture right now of you in that suit. But do you walk by that suit like today? Like every night, it's tucked away in the closet, or you walk over there, that's just the Grammy suit. You know what I mean? Not a lot of us can say that. But do you still have that, where it's visible for you?
Yeah, no, it's in a glass frame above my cheetah print.
When you walk by, he's got
above my cheetah print velour.
good old time.
Every now.
Right there next to the two tigers that you have over there.
I don't even know where it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's just hung up somewhere in the closet somewhere over there.
And take us through the process when, the category comes up and you don't win.
Yeah.
What's the feeling process there? Is you just happy to be there? Like, you gotta give me, a lot of people I'm just happy to be here. But no, if I say it's me, and I'm like, that motherfucker would have been better than me. You know what I mean? What was the thought process when you didn't hear your name?
When I didn't win, it wasn't anything like, oh man.
Because you already won.
I didn't win.
Yeah.
My win was the fact that day, my music is paying my phone bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where the win is for me. I say this all the time, and even when we're on tours, I tell this to the boys all the time. And I laugh and I crack up. I look around. I was like, what's so funny? And I was like, yo, dog, we're not supposed to be here.
Yep.
I say this all the time. Bro, we're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a way where it's like we're undeserving or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that because we didn't think we would.
We'll take you that far.
Or could.
Yeah.
And so when I say, yo, man, we're not supposed to be here, like, it's because again, our whole thing was to get music to pay our phone bill and, live out our passion. So anything extra after that, which obviously has happened more than 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I just kind of sit there and like, yo, man, we're not supposed to be here.
Come on.
This is crazy. Every time. And I'll never get sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People ask me all the time. It's like,
and the win for that is like, now you're a Grammy name. Now the prices go up. Now it's like, when you were doing bookings before, it's like, okay, yeah, we got Josh to do this. But now I always tell us, with Boog and people that got nominated and just tell you, like even Common Kings, the prices go up.
Right.
Because you're a Grammy nominated artist like that, do you kind of take that with you? And are you an artist that kind of say, yeah, I am a Grammy nominated artist, so the price should be that? Is there something you say? Yeah.
I mean, the prices got to go up.
Yeah.
But the humility got to stay the same.
Come on, man. Say it again.
Oh,
Come on.
The prices go up, but the humility got to stay the same. And, humility is going to get you farther than work and talent. Yeah. The way you treat people, the way you love people through your gigs and stuff like that. Like, I try to preach about the accolades, but not too much, because I don't want the kids thinking that this is the only way.
Yeah, you got to humble yourself.
That's the only way to get your prices up too.
Yeah.
Is through the accolades. Yeah, it's something that it'll be good on paper, but the best way to get your prices up is if the people choose to do that for you.
And they see that the work that you put in, you know what I mean? Where, some people, I mean, not all people, but some people are like served with a silver spoon where it's kind of given to them. It feels a lot better when you worked for it and you see the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. So it's like you have to do the business part, but the humility part, the being a people's person, like that part has to stay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something I've always looked at from Dad with Capenna and stuff, no matter how much gigs they did. Feej is another one. Shout out to Feej.
Shout out our brother Feej. Man.
Another one is Israel Kamakabivole.
Come on, brother is.
These guys they give their time.
Yeah.
And one thing Israel Kamakabivole said when he got asked, like, man, I noticed you sign your whole name on everything. And he goes, what's crazy is I bet a lot of these guys probably save one of their bills to come and watch me. I think so.
Wow.
I think a lot of these guys flew in from other places to come and watch me. The least I can do is write my whole name.
Yeah.
Man. And it's things like that I'm just like, yeah.
And take us back to your upbringing, like being raised with, being around the legends like Feej and Brother Is. Like, was it pressure on you kind of saying, okay, the bar is set, you know what I mean? Because you've seen, your dad and Capenna and you see, Brother Is and you see Feej. Like, what was like, it has to be intimidating to you to say, I could be at that level one day or not. How was that thought process?
The only worry that I had growing up from people like Feej and my dad was making sure that I became the man that they wanted me to become.
Yeah.
For them, their work pays off if I become what they set me out to be.
Come on.
Feej did this so we can sing these things, so we can perform a love song like Sosefina and then do an island reggae song. Capenna would do a Tahitian song and then do an island reggae song and then do another Fijian song. So my whole work, and even till right now, is to make sure that I became the dream that they spoke of.
Yeah.
For us. So I just try to be that confirmation.
Yeah.
So that when I perform and they watch, they know that their work is paid off.
Yeah.
It's like, this is exactly why I did what I did. This is Josh is the kind of artist that we were hoping that we would get out of the work that we paved, So that's the only pressure.
Yeah.
Other than that, the only bad thing is being the son of Capenna, I wasn't allowed to suck.
Yeah.
and I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but you think about this, right? Like, Michael Jackson, his son, if he does any kind of music, your standard is here, right here. Michael Jordan, your son comes out right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you're a professional chef or whatever, your offspring, their thought is right here. That's why I always thought, if I'm gonna do music, man, I better be either equal or better in any way. If not, don't touch it.
And why do it?
Yeah, don't touch it. And that's the pressure, I guess.
Man.
Because if you're a newbie, they don't expect nothing from you.
Yeah.
So just imagine when you give them that shock, You know, so it's harder to shock someone when you're an offspring of a person that shocks them
Yeah.
all the time.
Because there's so many more eyes on you.
Exactly.
Now,
Call
you know
that
what I mean?
shock value.
Shock value.
Shock
see?
value.
Right. I heard that before once.
I heard that a
He's
couple
saying
times.
shit. I mean,
You know, Elvis.
so we talk about that too, but we're talking. Oh, Pepper, we'll go over to you because it's crazy where you see how your dad was a musician, and you know now you see the success that Josh had, and you guys are starting to link up. How do you kind of say what my position, what my role is now that you're a part of what Josh is doing?
I already knew when the bro asked me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the best second or left
Yeah.
of him to promote the vision that the bro has. And not only that is that my homie hit me up. He was like, "Hey, you want to jam with me?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hell yeah,
come on.
of course." And then once we out there, the swag is out there too. The swag is a little different when you're singing Hawaiian music.
Yeah,
And you see a bunch of 3 big ass cats walking through with black shirts and gold chains and sunglasses.
Yeah.
They're like, "Y'all rappers?" "Oh no, you sing Hawaiian music." Yeah, esophagus, like
Yeah.
a feather, you know, soft and
The shock
smooth.
value, man. The shock
the
value.
shock value is everything, right?
You
Because
know.
they're shocked to even say, "Wait," to hear a voice like that come out of you.
Yeah.
and just the things that you know just go on tour. Tell us about how this whole you almost have like a cult following in Japan. How did that even come about? Because you like in Japan like every year almost.
Yeah.
So tell me how that whole thing was like. Okay, I'm going to Japan to tour. To like, I was like, how? Because me watching social media was like, damn, Josh is big in Japan.
Yeah, so I mean, so the Hawaiian music industry has been invested in Japan for decades.
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing work in that area forever.
Yeah.
I believe there's over 1 million hula dancers in Japan.
Oh, in Japan.
Yeah, in Japan. That certain kumus from Hawaii would go there and teach them certain songs.
Yeah.
And once Puakiele came out, they just started teaching a lot of the mele, aka songs, on the album, and they became super popular.
Yeah.
Which we're super blessed. You know, I always tell people all the time, you know, even if you release 10 songs, if you have one smash, it's a good album.
Come on.
One good song is a good album. So the fact that we got like 4 or 5 really good songs out of that one, that was Hula-able.
Yeah.
They taught that out there. It became a smash almost instantly because a lot of the kumu hulas.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that teach it out there. You know, so shout out to all the kumu hulas that teach my mele. Like without them, literally, we wouldn't be in Japan.
Yeah.
And till today, you know, they're so great. Release another song, they'll go out and teach it. And that's kind of how it works for the Hawaiian music industry. Japan is probably the main place they would do a tour. Yeah, their main place they would tour. So,
Was that the thought process going into the project, saying, okay, when you're doing these songs and you're putting the album together and you're putting, in order of what you want to do, was that the thought process for you to say, okay, this is what I want to write it for, this is how I want to do it, so that they can teach, or was it a whole different thought process?
you know, like I tell people all the time when it comes to making their decisions, to not make it based off of a what if.
Yeah.
Because those are like a what if.
Exactly.
Because that's like they might teach it, they might not teach
Yeah.
it. You know, so you got to go you got to go closer to what you're trying to do. So my main thing was to make beautiful Hawaiian music. That was just the underlying thing. If it got to Japan, great. But if it didn't, okay. My main thing as an artist is to make sure I create beautiful Hawaiian music, and I wanted hula dancers to feel a certain way when they heard me sing it. My whole thought process on Puakiele was I was trying to get Luther Vandross, R&B through hula, so that the Hawaiian music can go into their hands.
Yeah.
So that hula dancers can feel differently. You know, they feel differently from different songs, different tone of voices and whatnot. I wanted to make it like every time they danced to one of my songs, they felt like enraptured in my voice.
Yeah.
Like they just was like caressed in it.
Jesus.
You feel caressed right now.
Right now, I just got enraptured just now. just now, I was like, I'm enraptured right now from what you're saying.
I'm about to dance. I'm about
my hand. And then I kind of like punched him like he was hugging me. I was like, oh, guys. But
You know.
how do you kind of stick to your guns? Okay, you kind of just say the decision has to be made.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Hawaiian music singer. Or you could be, I'm R&B, island reggae. There's so many different genres where you could have went,
sure.
you know, especially with your voice. But how did you kind of say, no, this is what I'm going to do?
You know, I guess, you know, one of my favorite sayings is in order to get something you never got, you got to do something you never did. And Hawaiian music was
Enraptured.
And Hawaiian music was something I thought was super far.
Yeah.
Quick little story. It was actually Aloha Deliri, rest in love, family friend from HANOHANO.
Yeah.
She saw me. I went up to one bar one night, and one of my friends were playing Hawaiian music, and they got me to go up, and I was like, bro, I only know like one Hawaiian song, like by heart. And they're like, okay, just sing that one. So I sang Le Ho'oheno from Walden Keka'oha, not knowing that that's not really a song that you just go up and sing.
Yeah.
You know? I wasn't aware.
Exactly.
I just thought it's one.
Not everybody did, right?
It's one of the songs. So I sang that song that evening, and she pulled me to the side, and once we got breakfast later down the line, so we did, and she's like, Josh, I don't know what you're doing with your career.
Yeah.
You have to sing Hawaiian music.
Wow.
And so I'm like, oh, auntie, yeah. I don't have the knowledge.
You're like, about that.
Yeah. I don't have the I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the history is not correct. Where all my knowledge and everything.
Yeah.
All male Hawaii. And she was like, we can teach you that.
Yeah. Oh wow.
We can't teach your voice.
Come on.
She's like, us Hawaii, that's what we need, I think so.
Yeah.
He's like, I think we need your voice. And for me, I'm like, oh man, at that time I'm touring with the boys, with Boog and Maoli, so it's like it's a different, way different scene.
Come on.
So, she actually ended up passing within the next couple of weeks, and we didn't get to really finish.
From that breakfast and conversation?
Yeah, we didn't get to really finish or whatever. I go to her funeral, pay my respects, and all her daughters, Keola, Kapua, 3 of them, they come and like, hey, I don't know the convo, whatever you had with mom, but she was very adamant that we made sure that you sang Hawaiian music.
Oh, wow. So she went home and kind of told about that conversation.
So I'm like, no, don't do that to me, man.
Oh,
like,
no pressure. No pressure.
I'm like, don't do that to me.
Yeah. At the funeral too, geez.
Yeah, So then now I'm over there just chilling.
Yeah.
I'm there with my engineer, Kapena de Lima. And I told him about what happened or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he turns around and he goes, okay, bro, you know that your whole favorite saying or whatever? Same thing. Like, in order to get something you never got, you do something you never done. He goes, let's get R&B and we'll go do Hawaiian music. Wow. And so I was like, wait.
It kind of mixed the genres, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, wait, bro, that stuff doesn't fly.
Come on.
I was telling him, I'm like, that doesn't fly.
And it's not accepted. You know what I mean? At that point.
I'm like, statistically, it doesn't fly, man.
Yeah.
Look around, go listen around. And he was the one that was like, I know, exactly. Wow. It's not around. It's not around. And
no one's done it.
Yeah. And so our guinea pig song was Puakiele.
Yeah. Come on.
And when that first song came out, my life changed forever.
Man.
Like this, just like this. Just
wow. You kind of take that conversation as the turning point. I mean, now that I'm hearing the story, where it's like you could just say, oh yeah, no, thanks. We always have conversations with aunties, but then that happens where she passes, and then the daughters come. Like it's kind of all
it was an ongoing push at me, and even to be honest, even for me at that career, I didn't know. Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse to be in a melting pot of music in Hawaii because there's so much different avenues. Yeah. I just didn't know what I was supposed to. I guess I was waiting for God to tell me, like, hey, let's do this. Yeah. And then go from there. So I was like, okay, screw it. Let's give it on Puakiele and just see what happens. If everyone hates it, okay, cool. We'll pull it back and we got to go back to the drawing board. But they ended up, so what happened was when Puakiele came out, it was on the radio everywhere, but I wasn't hearing the talk. I wasn't hearing what was going on.
You didn't hear what the feedback was.
Until
the critics.
Until one day, literally one day on Facebook, one of my mentors, Kaylee Rachel, the legend himself. Yeah. He goes on Facebook and writes, I don't know who this kid is that sings Puakiele. I don't know if he's Hawaiian. I don't know if he's Tongan. But if this is what Hawaiian music is going to sound like for years to come, I'm a fan.
Let's go.
And so as soon as
confirmation right there.
As soon as he let everyone know he was a fan, because everyone looks at him as a he's a mentor. He's a Hawaiian practitioner. Everyone kind of got the green light. Yeah. And was like, we freaking love this guy.
But see, if you don't get that confirmation, you don't get that. You know what's it going to be? to see where everyone was like that comment on Facebook, just kind of like, okay, now it's cool to do it, because we have somebody to make sure I kind of give his okay.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, like you're kind of like, man, did I do it? Like you're not hearing what the critics are saying.
Yeah.
But to get that confirmation is like, in our demographic, I always say it all the time, we're our worst critics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always our own people that kind of just put us up on, under a microscope. And especially for you to be in a genre like where it's tough to say, I'm going to kind of like mix the R&B and the Hawaiian music where it could have went either way. That comment could have been like, who is this kid? And go left.
No, for sure. No, for sure.
But to kind of get that, like as you were reading, you were like, uh-oh, where's this going?
No, for sure. It was a gamble. And even till today, when I do Hawaiian music, I'm very much always learning as I go, because it's one of those things that you should learn as you go.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up too, because they'll tell you that you messed it up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I've had so much great help throughout the years in correcting different things in my phrasing or olelo or, things like that. But they've been so supportive, man. The whole Hawaiian music industry, all the locals, man. I get so much love back at home, man, and it's always great for me. That's why whenever even Mata and the boys, like, yo, when you touring the States, it's like, actually, I love playing over here.
Yeah.
I just love being at home. And they're like, oh, but you got to come on. Like, so we're doing stuff like that. But everyone at home has, taken me in and just, loved me up, man, which is so amazing to see, because they did the same thing. They took a chance on my dad and his brother.
Yeah.
In Kapena. 2 Tongans and one white Hawaiian guy in the middle, Porogi. And, so the stories are, it's crazy to tell them.
And to kind of just say, like, you're part of that lineage now, and you're part of this, history of Hawaiian music, where you fall in a place where it started with Pops and Kapena and, the legends before them. But now it comes full circle where you're in a social medias where we talk about, like, the accolades, right?
Yeah.
With Pops not being able to have the Grammy, we talk about the legends like Fiji and all them, where I feel like they didn't have the resources that we have now to draw the awareness. So, like, where you're in front of everybody, the platform. So do you kind of like find yourself saying, okay, we got to use these tools to our advantage, and not to just, not use, because I always say Instagram could be used the wrong way. I've used it the wrong ways a couple times, but that's neither here nor there. That's a little beauty hands. But besides that,
Cisco's on live again. He's on live again. Love John.
I don't know, we're here. We're live
again.
But do you kind of just say, okay, I'm going to use this tool that Pops didn't have, that Fiji really didn't have at the time, and use it to your advantage where we're doing it. Like we're talking about, shout out my boy Antonio over here, that's kind of a fixture in this, an expert in this social media world. How are you using that and saying, okay, they didn't have this tool, now I'm going to use it?
I love and hate social media, of course.
Come on, say it. That's exactly what I wanted you to say.
Like everybody else.
Yeah.
But it is a platform that we should use, man, because it gets to everyone the quickest.
Yeah.
I mean, how much people are reading newspapers in the morning, and how much people are scrolling in the morning.
Come on.
By the thousands are scrolling.
Yeah.
So as long as we use it the right way, it'll be well.
Yeah.
It's always, again, love-hate relationship. Some days I have a lot more fun with social media. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to do nothing with social media. I just always try to get people to make sure that they use it in a manner that it's not personal.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with social media, is that a lot of people use it.
Well, now you have to be more aware of what you post now. I mean, now you're under the microscope because you have the platform now.
Yeah.
And when you are successful, you do get those eyes that kind of say, watching every move. So if you do something that you thought was funny, people could take offense to it because there's more eyes on it. Like, how do you kind of say, do you post something like, oh, I probably shouldn't have did that? Now, are you second guessing, what you post every now and then, or just knowing that people are going to watch your feed or your story?
For the most part, I'm really good with my social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I didn't post you hanging upside down from nothing.
Gee, cut.
That's why I didn't post you standing on the machine yesterday.
Right. What an asshole. God. Well, speaking of social media, Laupepa, let's go over to you. Son of a bitch.
It reminds me of a quote.
What an asshole. So back to you, Peppa. So as we're talking about Hawaiian music, coming from LA, being raised with pops and like that, how was your transition to kind of say, okay, this is what we're doing, and kind of put your all into Hawaiian music? Like, you could easily said, oh yeah, I do this. But you kind of also had to learn, certain things that you probably didn't know before. Tell us how that whole transition went about.
Right. Well, I think for me, the transition was easier.
Yeah.
I think because it wasn't by cultural, I did it by music.
Wow.
So instead of Whatever I liked, what I hear, especially like with what we like, right?
Yeah.
Regular like R&B going to Hawaiian music, and that was the vision for Josh's album or music for Hawaiian music, and I was like, man, that sounds dope.
Yeah,
that's stuff I like to play too.
Come on,
and for me going and also listen to the traditional Hawaiian music, or the other different types of artists in the Hawaiian music. It gave me an appreciation or a broader knowledge of what is given into the music. And so for me, it was more the music side, and then the cultural sense came after. Yeah. And of appreciation. So, and also I'm part Hawaiian, so I never grew up with my Hawaiian side. So,
it's made you dive into it a little bit more, right?
It was cool, you know, and it kind of gave some pride for my Hawaiian blood because I grew up in Samoa, and I'm predominantly Samoan. Yeah. So, I'm very proud.
Shout out to the boys, man. My band, I have them on their toes like almost 24/7 all the time, and it definitely takes some special guys to be on my left and right.
Come on, role players,
especially being that like, you know, we'll do a show like any professional. We go and assess the party, read the room a little bit, and I'll be like, okay, check this out, guys. We're gonna do this Hawaiian song, but we're gonna do the island reggae song right after, and then we'll do Tennessee whiskey. Bring them back to You're the Best Thing. Hit them with the Luther. Come back with Chris Stapleton, and they're just looking at me like.
Because you guys got to take all this in. It's like, okay.
Shout out to our boy Trav.
Shout out Trav, man.
Shout out to our boy Trav.
So I feel like that's another reason why, you know, we're busy majority of the time, and you know, mixed with the originals and all that kind of stuff. We have a blast. I have a blast on stage all the time. I look to my left, I crack up. I treat it like in real time because I honestly feel that's what the crowd wants to see anyways, which is perfect because that's how we are in real time. Like, I don't ever want my boys to feel very like, be this way, act this way.
And is that what you guys do like for every show? Like, you don't have the same set. Like, you guys actually sit there like, hey guys, for this one, we probably want to do this and kind of move stuff around.
For sure.
You guys have the luxury of doing that because the role players in your band and they know, okay, if it's this, and that, we got to do what it's going to do because you guys already know what the read of the room is.
Yeah. And we got put into some situations where I'm like, let's go. when we had to open up for UB40.
Yeah.
And we were right before Catch. And we have a Hawaiian trio, man.
Yeah.
Three of us.
We have a Hawaiian trio before these two monsters.
Yeah.
And so I'm overthinking. I'm like, oh my gosh. We gotta do these things. Literally,
Catch a Fire and UB40. Right. Great. Hey, you guys go up.
Literally, my guys look at me and they're like, hey. Oh, just sing, dog.
Yeah.
You're good.
Come on.
And so I was like, yeah, right. Because that's why we got hired. We got hired to sing what we sing.
You got to hype yourself up.
Yeah, you know, I was like, okay, cool. Literally, right when we start, it was amazing, man. Yeah. It was great.
Hey, this is how he started. He was like, you guys want reggae music? They're like, yeah. It's like, okay, you got to wait 1 hour because we got to be singing Hawaiian music.
You know, and it's funny because a lot of times when I go outside, they're like, bro, I love like the commentary, whatever. But the band is like, bro, that's that guy 24/7.
Yeah,
that's how it is.
But you need that commentary.
That's what makes it
breaks the ice.
That's what breaks it all the time.
It has to. I feel like through time, just got more and more comfortable. Being that guy, you know, so it doesn't feel like there's any built up pressure.
But I think that's your personality too, and I think that banter that you have with the crowd, it's priceless. You know what I mean? A lot of artists can't do that. And it's talking to the people because they feel more personable with you. Like, okay, he's talking to us where he's not just doing his thing and getting off stage. You're actually having this conversation. You're looking over at Peps and Trav and kind of just doing your thing. Yeah, and I think people see that and that exudes that.
We definitely treat it like, even if it's like a couple thousand people, we'll treat it like there's 30 people in front.
Man, say that again. I tell that people all the time. When you're performing, no matter it's 10 people or 10,000 people, you got to bring the same energy.
You have to.
It's actually more nuts when it's smaller.
Yeah, because you see all the eyes.
Yeah. if it's 10,000, you don't even see.
More intimidating. Yeah,
but it's not even. But it's not as intimidating as singing in front of like just like 10 Tongans or 10 Samoans.
Yeah.
I still get way more nervous on those things.
Because you know what? I always
sing in front of thousands of Japanese.
But those 10 Samoans and Tongans.
I hate singing at like family reunions.
Yeah, because the pressure's on.
On all the way.
I had to ask you a question. Is Trav's beard fake?
Nope.
Because his thing's so crisp,
bro.
Where it's like he must get a lineup every day.
You know, I was just about to tell him, hey, Trav, hey, You gotta stop doing that, dog.
He has the best hair.
You started to,
Bro, it like lays down perfectly on his beard.
Yeah, like you started to make me look bad, dog. I don't get lined up. Bro, this guy gets lined up like twice a week, dog.
No, he has to. Because every time I see Trav, I said, look at old Crispy Trav over here.
No, every time.
Yeah, good old Coco Crisp over there.
Every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, we talk about Dos Caras, that's two faces. People know the first phase of Josh Tatofi. What's the second phase that people may not know?
Sorry, what is the question?
People know there's the Josh Tatofi. Where's the other person that people, the personality that people may not know, or the person that they might not know? What's the second phase of Josh Tatofi?
I don't know if there's really a second. I'm pretty much the same, like all around. I guess the only part that's like, I guess the second phase is the things that the people that I keep in my personal relationships. Like my circle. Like there's certain ways you can be this way in work. I mean, it's still work for us, even though it's entertainment industry, out in public. That's still very much, we have to hold a standard in that. But like a lot of the other part is being, when I'm just with the fellas and with the family, and we get to talk about whatever and crack up about whatever. Like that part, I kind of just, although people would probably want to see it, I feel like I love to keep that part personal.
And keep it within your own circle.
Yeah, because it lets me feel that I'm still human.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that's the problem with, even although I'm going through it on a small scale, I think on a big scale, a lot of stars go into depression because they never made the fine line.
Yeah.
I feel like they brought in their family into the light, and they brought their fans and all this, whatever, pop star stuff into the same light.
Wow.
You know, and I feel like me making a really big incision, like between the both, making a fine line, lets me be Siwa over here, and Josh Tatofi over here.
Come on, there it is. That's what I was looking for.
And I feel like that's everyone should need that balance.
Yeah.
Or else you end up just losing yourself, because then you forget. Wait, I'm Josh Tatofi, where Siwa's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like giving too much personal in the
now the line is fading.
Yeah. Now there's no line, so I feel like that second phase is that part where I get to be this guy, and then they know that I'm this guy when I'm here. You know, and I feel like that's important. I feel like in anyone's life. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be any kind of pop star stuff. I feel like you should keep work and all these things, whatever, family and all these things, you know, not secretive, just private.
And it's crazy because we talk about social media. We try to keep those interactions kind of personable. But there's a viral video that we'll probably play right here of me, you, and Peppa in Hawaii after a show singing Sammy J's Girl You. So how do you not want people to portray that? Because you try to keep those moments, you know, with your own circle. But when it's out on social media like that, and it does go viral, how do you answer that?
The only reason why I was down to do that video and not care is because I know Cisco sounds way worse than me. I don't sound the worst, so that's why I'm like, I'm down, post it, because I look decent and I sound decent. So,
and I'm just the guinea pig, like, hey, everybody.
This is the one for me. This is the one for me. Girl, you light my fire. He was like, hey. I was like, stop playing the song.
That was due to Jameson, by the way. So thank you, Jameson Ginger tea shots, for that. Before we get up out of here, what's next for Josh Tatofi?
Like always, man, new music.
Yeah.
New music coming up. I'm actually working on some love songs throughout the South Pacific. So I actually have a Samoan love song coming out.
Ooh.
A Tongan love song coming out.
Come on.
Maori, Tahitian love song.
Man. Working.
With music videos. So I kind of wanted to go through those things of like that area.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'm kind of in that place right now where like I was talking to Feej the other day. He was like, you know, Neff, I'm really glad you're there, because, you know, none of us are there.
Yeah.
You know, we still listening to the same old Samoan love songs from 1980.
Exactly.
You know, 90 maybe, and just a few modern here and there. Right. But no one really just going in there and kind of just lifting and living these Polynesian love songs that we already listened to. So
it's a void.
Yeah. So I hope, and I hope me and the boys can fill it. I'm pretty stoked about the project.
Peps, what about you, brother?
I'm currently working on Josh's album with him. I'm just stoked to be a part of it, because it's always fun with the boys, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm also working on my own album as well.
Come on.
So I'm really stoked about that. I feel like I've been working on this album for like 20 years now.
That's
I think we had the last conversation. We said the same thing.
That's the good thing about social media because they don't even know.
Yeah.
So when you come out with the album, it took me like 2 weeks to make this thing.
I think it was like 4 years ago. He said, "Stay tuned." I'm still staying tuned.
48 months. It's like that's 4 years.
I thought it was going to be like this. Well, I'm actually leaving Josh and him. You'll find my new soul album, Flash, is lonely at the top. But man, I want to thank y'all brothers for coming over here, man. This was a long time coming, and for those watching this, man, go support these brothers and their music. Shout out Laupepa, shout out Josh. Anything you want to say to the Western Conference family before we get about here?
Shout out to Western Conference, man. Brother West Alpha.
Shout out my brother West,
man. And just having this platform, man, this is such a great platform for not only Polynesians, but for, people in general to come and share their story and everything like that, man. So super stoked and can't wait for the next one.
Peps?
Just appreciative of you and Western Conference Podcast for having us here. Brother West, and thanks for having us, bro.
Man, West, thanks for you guys coming over here, man. Especially the artists watching this. There's a lot of gems on this one. Western Conference Podcast, Laupepa's here, Josh Tatofi, your boy, everybody, Cisco. Dos Caras Tequila, we up out of here. Peace.